What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Free Lunch, Free Food for Your Soul. This is another Unplugged episode. Big shout out to our brand placement sponsor this season, Dobie and Rollins Orthodontics, helping you love your smile. Shout out to Track Major Productions. Listen, one of the best producers in the area in the Northeast. If you want fantastic production, if you want a producer who's well versed across instruments, different sounds, hit up Track Major Productions. Be sure to hit the sponsor links in the description of the episode. Of every episode, you can find our sponsor links. Check them out, show them some love, and of course, shout out to Frii Branding LLC. The best version of your brand starts right here. So let's get into this Unplugged episode, y'all. It has been a super dope last few weeks. I just celebrated 7-year anniversary with the wife, for those who've been following. Also, we're on the other side of the mother-in-law, my wife's mom passing away. And so we've kind of had some, really big things take place over the last few months. We had a fantastic anniversary getaway. That was dope. We just had a Christmas getaway that we do with, try to do with my mom regularly each year. So this past week, we went to Vermont. We had, not our whole family, but just a few. My grandmother showed up. That was a surprise, big surprise for us. I had my daughter from Florida come all the way up. My other 2 teenagers were there. We had the baby. The 1-year-old, man, she is doing so well, y'all. She is like running now, basically, giving me a run for my money. She's in the studio right now, actually knocked out right behind me in the playpen. Again, for those who've been following me, man, every day she comes here in the studio and spends the day with me, man. Daddy daycare all the way. And that's one of the things I really love about, kind of now, where I actually last month made 2 years, the 2-year mark of fully taking the leap as a full-time entrepreneur, full-time content creator, and, running the branding and marketing business, consultant business, with other brands. And so it's been awesome, man. I think as I reflect over the last week, my wife and I, around our anniversary, we were kind of discussing, we try to have some time of reflection about, ways we want to improve in our marriage, reflecting on things that we learned or discovered new about each other over the last year. We have that conversation. But one of the things that came out was just kind of having a shared journal. So we came up with this idea where we would have a shared journal that, at different times of throughout the week, at different times of the day, whenever either of us just sort of feel inspired or feel, prompted to, that we have something on our heart that we want to share with one another. And it doesn't have to be something that's like, a problem. It could just be a positive reflection. Like, I think I really loved like how you supported me and showed up for me this week in this particular way when you did that thing. Or, something that may be a little bit, challenging or difficult, I really think I need more of your support in this way. And, I think I kind of came up with the idea for us. I told my wife, at least, the reason I wanted to come up with that shared journal was, how sometimes you can have something heavy on your heart you want to share with your significant other, and just the timing can be wrong. And not necessarily wrong for you, but like the timing for your spouse or your significant other to receive in a good way or a productive way from you could be off, right? Maybe they just had a long day at work. Maybe the kids were giving them a run for their money, whatever. So having the shared journal allows both of you to write down in the moment that you feel it, to write down deep thoughts, considerations, reflections, challenges. You can write them down, and we keep the shared journal on either one of our bedside, nightstands or tables. And so, it allows for that significant other to pick the book up and consume what's in there or digest, so to speak, what you've put in there when the timing is okay for them. Now, obviously, this is not pertaining to things that are actually immediately urgent. Obviously, you don't want to just put something in a notebook and then, days later is when your significant other found out about it, right? That's not smart. But we've been doing it for about a week and a half now, maybe 2 weeks. And I love it. I mean, again, it allows for me to process the information or things when I'm ready to process, when I have some downtime, when I have some more clarity of thought, and same for her. So that's really, really been dope. And I really just have been blessed with sort of reflecting on the way I've been trying to do this balance thing with like my family as a priority or a greater priority. It's been a challenge to balance kind of the going back to grad school as well as balancing the business full time and then keeping the family the priority. That's been challenging. I still make it a point to not really have work that I take from the studio to home, and that's schoolwork or creative work. And so what I've done is, if I need to stay at the studio another hour to kind of get a good stopping point, that's what I've done. And so when I leave the studio and go home, the family, my wife, the kids, everyone knows that I'm actually done. Rather than trying to rush to get home because it's a certain time of day and I just, should be home at a certain time. And now I'm now at home doing another hour, 2 hours worth of work. So I want, actually, when I get home, I want that to be home time. And then so one of the things that we've done really, really well and kind of sharpened this past season is, keeping those things that we've done, my wife and I, for the last 6 years of our marriage, we've kept every Tuesday night is date night at 6:30 sharp. So we've then added, the kids to that calendar a few years back. We haven't been as regular and faithful to the kids, what we call family night for them. So those have been Monday nights at the same time, 6:30. And I recently, sort of had another epiphany, just growing, doing self-reflection. And I told my wife, I said, it was a Monday. I think I may have been at the studio. And she was asking me if I was staying late or something. And I was like, no, I'm coming home. It's Monday night. It's family night. So I need to be home by 6:30. I said, and, I kind of really have felt convicted lately that, the kids' night, family night should be just as important, and we should put just as much emphasis on that as we do our date night. So it's not fair to the kids to not have that dependable, that time they can bank on week to week, that they can expect dad to be home at a certain time and for us to have intentional time as a family. So I've really, really done my best to try to keep that, to them. And again, these things, guys, for those who are trying to find that same balance in their lives and trying to find ideas and suggestions, like family night, date night, these are not things where we're spending a ton of money, where we're going out somewhere, because, people don't have it like that. We don't always have it like that. And so sometimes family night is literally just, us getting the family together in the living room. We're playing board games or watching a movie together. So, many times for date night, it's just something that's equally, simplified, a movie or a TV show we catch up on, like a TV series, or, a card game or something. It's really just I think it's really about just having intentional time, whether it's date nights, family nights. To me, those things are designed to just have intentional time set apart, so that we don't get caught up in the everyday hustle and bustle, man, of just living life. Going to work, coming home, going to work, coming home, paying bills, go to sleep, get up again, do it again, go to work, come home, pay bills, go to sleep. And so breaking it up with intentional days, whether it's every week or every 2 weeks, however you do it, what works for you and your family, man. I really encourage you all to try that. So again, I'm looking forward to more growth this season in my marriage, more growth and intentionality as a father, with my family. And you guys keep me in your prayers for those who pray. And stay tuned. Love y'all. Peace.